This lesson, Notation and Diagrams, focuses on something we've been talking about since the very first lesson in this unit. How do you notate or correctly write information on your graphs and in your work? Notation is mathematical grammar. It's the way we communicate mathematics in writing. So it's critically important that we get this down and we understand what the markings and symbols on diagrams mean, how to put them on the diagrams, okay, and how to write the information correctly. Our essential question today is, how do I interpret symbols on diagrams? You're really going to need colors for this lesson. So I would get out 2 or 3 colors to help you focus in on the important information. Let's start with parallel lines. Okay, parallel lines, we have a 2 lowercase l's is our symbol for parallel lines. And on diagrams, they use carets. Your carets should be in approximately the same place on the parallel lines, and they should be pointing the same direction on the parallel lines. So let's make this line L and line N. I would write line L is parallel to line N. If you have more than one set of parallel lines, you may use more than one caret. Now, again, should be in approximately the same place on the parallel line. Okay, I would not put one up here and one down here. That's bad. And then for the other, I'm going to use double carets. You can use triple carets, quadruple carets. Once you get more than 3 or 4, it's time to switch colors so that maybe you have 1 in red, 2 in red, 3 in red, 1 in blue, 2 in blue, 3 in blue, that kind of thing. Congruent segments. We talked in an earlier lesson about the congruent symbol, and these use tick marks. So let's label this AB, CD. We would say segment AB is congruent to segment CD, and tick marks on the diagram. Now, if you have more than one congruent segment, you have to use more than one tick mark. Okay, so single ticks, double ticks. You can do triple and quadruple ticks, but again, if you have to go beyond that, please bust out the colors. Otherwise, your diagram is just too hard for anybody to read. Perpendicular lines have the upside down capital T, okay, and they use right angle symbols in the diagram. So this one is already drawn in for you right there. Okay, and in this example, I would say segment TS is perpendicular to line D. Congruent angles, and again, our congruent symbol, use arcs or a combination of arcs and tick marks. Okay, so let me draw a couple lines here. And I'm going to say that my blue lines are parallel and my green lines are parallel. Okay, so I can do arcs. All four of those angles are congruent. These are also congruent. I can do double arcs, triple arcs, etc. The arcs really get messy fast. Okay, or I could do arcs with ticks. So I could have an arc with a single tick, an arc with a double tick, an arc with a triple tick. But again, if you go beyond 3 arcs or 3 ticks, you need to bust out another set of colors. Oh, well, I totally did that example in the wrong place, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm out of time today, so I am not going to redo the example. This example up here should have been simpler. Okay, we're dealing with arcs or ticks. So this example, I'll do it with the ticks. Sorry about doing the hard example first. I should have paid a little more attention to where I was. But the bell's about to ring to start class, so I don't have time to go back and redo the video. Based on the diagram, identify whether the statements are true or false. Okay, A parallel to B. As I look at A, I see absolutely no carets, so this has to be false. Number 2, UT has 2 tick marks. SR has 2 tick marks, so yes, true, they are congruent. UT is perpendicular to B. So as I look at this area, I should see a right angle symbol, and I don't. So this is going to be false. TR isn't even drawn in there. False. Alrighty. On the next page, pause your video and give this one a try. Okay, let's check your work here. FG has 3 tick marks, and so does segment FE. Angle GCH has a single arc, so does angle ECD. Segment KD has 2 tick marks, so does segment JH. Angle FCG has 2 arcs, so does angle FCE. CF is an angle bisector. We're cutting the big angle ECG in half. This picks up a little bit from middle school, but angle GCH and ECD are vertical angles, and angle HCD and angle GCE are vertical angles. Where's my slider not working well? Let's look at the next page. List all information. All right, so I like to take my colors and just go through. I see double carets. So that means that FD, and this is a line, is parallel to EC. I don't know why the board suddenly is not oriented well. I see single carets here, so that means line FE is parallel to line CD. I see single ticks, so that means segment FD is congruent to segment EC. And I see the little right angle symbol here. So that means that line FD is perpendicular to line CD. Okay, pause your video and try the next one, please. Okay, I picked up 4 pieces of information from this diagram. I had a right angle, so I had perpendicular lines. I had congruent segments, I had congruent angles, and I had parallel lines. Take a couple minutes, please, to write your summary. Include why notation is so important.